Thank you, and thank you for the warm welcome. I feel like I've come back home. I've come to Jaipur. My father has grown up in Jaipur, so it's a really special city for me. And I feel really privileged that I've been called to speak at such a prestigious event. I hope I don't disappoint you. Uh, the topic that I've been given today is shrinking screen and expanding stardom. Now, the funny part is that I find this phrase stardom a little scary, and especially in context to the topic that I've been given, in context to the smaller screen, because I feel that the whole reason why people like to watch stuff on the small screen is because they can see stuff which is very, very relatable. You know, as far as I can remember, it all started with small funny videos of your pet dog, or funny videos of people falling off from their chairs, and all those videos that we used to watch, and they would go viral. That's how it all started. And they became really famous because it was so relatable. It felt like, oh, this has happened to me and I've seen this and I can relate to this. And then now, as things have progressed, we've come to making full-fledged content on the small screen. I somehow have become a face who's representing web series as such, but I would like to inform you that my contribution to this concept of web series is very, very limited. I was fortunate to be part of the first one that was made, this series called Permanent Roommates, which was actually an experiment that we were trying, and it's a rather successful experiment now. It's the coolest experiment I've been part of since I've born. So, if I can trace the germ of why web series, this medium of internet, is doing so well, is because the way we consume content in today's time is very, very different. In today's time, if a lot of reality shows are doing well, if realistic cinema is doing well, if realistic films are doing well, is because even in stories that we watch, we want to see stuff that is relatable. We want to see stuff that is believable. Of course, we know that it's a story and it's fake and everything, but at least the effort to make it convincing, and for that very moment, it has to be so convincing that it looks real. So the reason why web series is succeeding today, and people like me are liked by so many people, is because the audience feels like they're one of us. You know, when I see other shows, I feel, oh, these are people I really like, and I really like them because I feel I've met them somewhere, and I feel like I've interacted with these people somewhere. And that's what makes it so attractive. Also, what I feel is the kind of content that was being made in films as well as in television, not to pull them down in any way, was really larger than life, and was going more and more away from the reality of things, was not contemporary. Whereas the stuff that you see on the internet these days, at least the effort is to make it very, very contemporary. So I think right now the best contemporary writing is happening on the internet in India. Abroad, you see all these television series, the best writing talent abroad is moving towards writing television series, be it on HBO or Netflix or all these other mediums, because it is the contemporary ideas that we see, that we relate to the most. And I hope that in India, people are able to understand this void that we have. I also feel that Bombay does not have to be the center of this thing. I would really like to see a new web series coming out of Jaipur, a web series coming out of Jodhpur, a web series coming out of Odisha. Because what the internet has done is it has made entertainment so accessible and so less magnanimous. To create content, you don't have to be a huge filmmaker. To tell a story, you don't have to have millions and millions of rupees. You genuinely need to have a story that you really want to tell, that has come truly from your heart. A story that you have lived. and only then it is appealing. So last time I visited Jodhpur, I met a few students. They said they wanted to make something, but they can't come to Mumbai. I said, you shouldn't come to Mumbai. You should be in Jodhpur, and you should be in Jaipur and Udaipur and tell your stories. And I'm sure if you tell it well, they will do really well. And I would like to watch them. We should take a huge leap from Bahubali. It's a regional film. It's the most successful regional film, because when you tell a story, beyond a point, it stops being regional. The thought has to be universal, and then the region or the language makes no difference. So yeah, and I think the bigger the stars, or the bigger this syndrome of becoming a star happens on the internet and on the web series market or on YouTube, the less accessible those people will be. So when people think that I would feel happy about being a sensation on the internet, I feel a little scared, because then it makes me a little less accessible. It makes me a little less normal. I would rather be a normal person and be more relatable and be more guy next door, so that people believe in the stories that I tell. Because that's the stories I like watching, and that's the stories I like telling. You should tell me what kind of stories that you like to hear, what kind of stories that you watch. Because I've realized that in India, what was happening is that our investment in a story was very, very little. And this is an observation that I've been making, be it at home or with friends. When you go and when you watch a film in a theater, or when you go and when you're sitting at home and watch a film on television, there are so many distractions that come your way. And there are so many things that you miss out. Whereas when you see something on an iPad or on your cell phone with your headphones on, you don't miss anything. You see each and everything that is being said and shown, and if you miss anything, you go back and you trace it back to where it started. So it is really, the viewing experience is way more focused, I feel. I genuinely enjoy watching stuff on my pad or on my phone, because I don't like to be influenced by how other people are reacting to things. Because sometimes, like being an actor, I go to a lot of film screenings. And when you go to a film screenings, there are people who've been part of the production of the film, and they laugh on every joke, and they think everything is going great. And then you watch the film and you come out and say, hey, it was a pretty decent film. And come weekend and you realize that the film has crashed. So the environment in which you watch content really affects your opinion on it. So which is why I feel that the shrinking screen is actually a litmus test to any content, because you see it and you're the only one watching it, and it's a direct relationship that you have with the content, and that is the true judge of it. Not the numbers that you're getting, not the millions of views that you get on the internet, because they can be achieved in a lot of ways. But what truly enhances the viewing experience is just what you and the story have while you're viewing the story. Is there any question somebody wants to ask? Yes, please. I mean, this is just one part of it, so I'm glad you brought this up. Right now, there is no real censorship on stuff on the internet, and I think it is a liberty that we have, and we should use it very, very responsibly before somebody comes and puts a tab on this, Now, about sex and abuse, it's an eye-catching thing. If you mention the word sex on your headline in any video, you're bound to get more views. But beyond a point, it'll be redundant, because it can only get you the initial attention that you want. But if the story is not interesting, then people will not watch it. If they want to watch sex, then there are a lot of other avenues that they can actually go and watch a varied variety of sexual content. So I think if your story is not powerful enough and it's not honest enough, then I don't think it will work beyond a point. And that's the whole fun of it, Like Game of Thrones, I feel, is a great example of it. When Game of Thrones started, the first season, besides having a really dense storyline. It had a lot of violence, a lot of gore, a lot of sex that was shown, and it did get a lot of attention because of that. We were interested in Game of Thrones because we were in for the content, but a lot of other people were in Game of Thrones because they liked the violence and the sex that was being shown. And if you realize, if you observe by the second, third, fourth season, the gore and the sex kept reducing and the plot kept getting denser and denser. So which just shows that it was probably done, I'm guessing it was done to get that initial attention. And once you have your audience, you can sit down and tell them a story. Like a great example is when Star movies came to India, I was really young. I was 14 or 15-year-old or maybe less, I can't remember. और उस समय वो ब्रोशर आया करते थे कि किस समय पे कौन सी फिल्म आ रही है, और जिस फिल्म पे 18 नंबर लिखा होता था वो एडल्ट फिल्म होती थी. उसमें ऐसा लगता था कि उसमें कोई एक इंटरेस्टिंग क्लिप आएगी. तो मैं और मेरे कज़न जो है वो ब्रोशर लेके उसको मार्क करके वेट करते थे कि भाई 9:30 बजे एक वो फिल्म आएगी जिसमें हसीन चीज़ें दिखाई जाएगी. तो हम म्यूट पे जो है बहुत सारी अंग्रेज़ी फिल्में देखते थे, और पूरी अंग्रेज़ी फिल्म की कहानी हमारे मन में बन रही होती थी. अरे दोनों देखो कितनी अच्छी बातें कर रहे हैं, अरे दोनों रसोई में गए, देखो अब कुछ होगा. और फिर 5 मिनट में लगता है अरे यार ये झगड़ क्यों रहा है बेवकूफ़ आदमी, अब पूरा मूड खराब कर दिया, अब कुछ नहीं होगा यहाँ पर. और उस चक्कर में बहुत सारी अंग्रेज़ी फिल्में हमने देख ली. एट द एंड ऑफ द फिल्म वी वुड रियलाइज कि इसमें सीन तो कुछ नहीं थे पर कहानी बहुत अच्छी थी. तो उस सिलसिले में क्या हुआ कि तीसरी चौथी फिल्म के बाद हमने वॉल्यूम खोलना शुरू कर दिया कि यार सुने तो सही ये क्या कह रहा है. तो आई थिंक सेक्स और वायलेंस का एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग इन वे है कि ये शब्द मेंशन करने से अचानक से अटेंशन जाता है लोगों का, पर उसके बाद अगर आपके पास इंटरेस्टिंग कहानी है कहने को तो लोग ज़रूर देखेंगे. यस मैम, यू वांट टू आस्क? यस, did you want to ask something? Please do. Yes.
That means you do get a lot of offers tentatively to move into the bigger screens. A lot of production houses might approach you. In that case, is it tempting to move there given that the online space is growing at a very exponential rate? In that case, do you think that, okay, this settles, I don't really need to go ahead and try the bigger screen because I think I can make it big here anyhow? That's it.
Okay. So answering your first question, we did recently at TVF. TVF is a company that I've collaborated with a lot of times, and they're friends. So, and the survey was that of all the stuff that we have made, what are the things that have done really well? You know, like the first season of Permanent Roommates is what has gotten the most amount of attention and affection and everything. When we made the second season, we had 10 times more money to make it. We had huge production value for it, and so on. But we realized that the numbers we got for the first season were so much because story and content were the only two things that we were focusing on. The moment we had the money and the paraphernalia to go bigger, that is a huge attention or a huge span of our energy went into covering that, and the story sort of took a back seat. So that is an observation, that is an understanding that we've also gotten, that, you know, without compromising on the content, if something needs a bigger hall like this or a hotel like this for to convey a certain scene, then we should shoot it. Otherwise it doesn't really matter, because 5 मिनट के बाद आदमी भूल जाता है कि कितने खूबसूरत कपड़े पहने, 10 मिनट के बाद भूल जाता है कि कितना बढ़िया सेट लगा है और कितनी महंगी गाड़ियाँ आ रही हैं. 10 मिनट 15 मिनट के बाद आपको लगने लगता है कि अच्छा ठीक है, अब क्या कहानी क्या कह रहे हो आप, ये देख लिया मैंने, ये खूबसूरत लोग हैं, ये बहुत अच्छी गाड़ियाँ हैं, बहुत अच्छी साड़ियाँ हैं, अब क्या करें इनका. So this is an understanding that we've also gotten, and hopefully we'll be able to imbibe it in our future projects. Coming to the second question, yes, you do get offered a lot of work in different mediums, films being one, television being another one. Yes, it is really tempting because we've all grown up watching films, so it's difficult to shy away from that attraction of being on the big screen and everything. Having said that, personally, I've never taken it too seriously, the medium on which I'm going to make it big. More so because of what has happened with me with the whole web series thing. Because it doesn't really matter what medium you're doing work on. If you're doing interesting work that is contemporary and work that will appeal to a lot of people, then it will do well, no matter what medium you are on. And I feel that I see a trend happening where today we go and watch films that are larger than life because it's such a big hassle to get out, to get in your car, get into a parking lot, go watch a film. We won't go and watch a film about two people sitting in their drawing room having tea and having interesting conversation. We want to watch the Avengers, we want to watch Bahubali, or we want to watch a Sultan or a Dangal on screen because it's so larger than life. These are huge stars and everything. But that cannot be the only mode of entertainment available in this country. So all your other stuff, there is a medium now. Internet is a great medium and it is convenient. It is available at your disposal and you can watch it as and when you want. And yeah, so that gives the whole parallel cinema also a huge life. A lot of these films that came out, the smaller budget films, the 3 to 5 crore films that didn't do well in theaters, are doing really well on Netflix and on Amazon, on Hotstar and on TVF and on all these other mediums because they are now available at your disposal. Now you can watch these films as and when you want. So I think that's a huge advantage that we have in today's time.
Hi Sumit,
Hi.
I'm a big fan of Mikesh.
Thank you.
And that character is really cool. The question is, do you think sometimes in the pursuit of storytelling, we tend to go off the tangent when we try experimenting different things? Like, I felt it in the season 2 of Permanent Roommates.
Yes, we do. And sometimes it's important also to do that, because I'd rather fail trying different things than keep doing the safe mode of what is working all the time. So in season 2, what we were trying to do is we were trying to diversify and try different tangents that we want to go on, and we could afford to go on those tangents, because we had the resources to do that. And we did that, and we realized that in some places it worked, some places we failed miserably, and it's nicer to fail like that. It's nicer to try and fail rather than not try at all. And I mean that's the death of television right now. I don't think most people of our generation or your generation watch TV shows. Nothing wrong with them. They're also telling stories. But the thing is that they've chosen to play a safe game. They've chosen to tell stories that are working, that have worked for so many years, and they think will work for another 10, 15, 20, 30 years. So now internet is a space where we can experiment, we can go crazy, and people like it when people come out with crazier ideas. Like, who would have thought a series with 3 siblings could do so well, where the 3 siblings are not being cordial to each other, where it is not a hum saath saath hai, where the 3 hold hands and sing a lovely song. That's not how siblings are. भाई बहन आपस में गाली भी देते हैं, भाई बहन एक दूसरे की पिटाई भी करते हैं और बहुत अनाप शनाप चीज़ें बोलते हैं. मेरी बहन जो चीज़ें मुझे बोलती है मैं स्टेज पे नहीं बता सकता आपको. It's not very pleasant. So which is why I feel that it's a great medium, and I think you should try and fail. You should try different things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Yeah. Now we know that this doesn't work, तो अब कुछ और करेंगे. पर कोशिश करनी चाहिए. I think it's a good thing.
Hi Sumit, here. Yeah.
Hi.
Okay, so I just wanted to know that in case of web series, in contrast with movies, what kind of pressure does it has on the team? Because in case of movies, the movie is released and people go and pay for it and watch it. But in terms of web series, it is uploaded online and people watch it online. So what kind of pressure does it has on the team? Because you don't know that how acceptable the audience is going to be in regarding the web series. And also when you're trying to tell a story which might not be be very mainstream, it might cause of, have a kind of doubt in the mind that maybe it is not going to do that great. So I just wanted to know that in contrast to movies, how does that work? How do you cope up with that kind of pressure?
I think I'd beg to differ on one point, because movies, the thing is that you make the entire film and then it takes another 6 months before the film comes out. So what you have thought and what you've shot is what you will be releasing now. You have no idea how people are going to react. It is either going to be a hit or a flop. Either people are going to like it or they're going to pan it completely. But whereas on the internet, when you're making a web series, you upload one episode, you get comments, you read how people are reacting to things, and you have time to modify things and, get better with things. Having said that, you can't not have a story and completely wait on uploading one episode and then deciding and writing the other one. No, you have to have a generic idea of what kind of story you want to tell. And I keep coming back to this word contemporary again and again, because that is one kind of entertainment that we lack in today's time. There is a reason why a Black Mirror is doing so well. I think it's the best contemporary writing that is happening in today's time, because it is genuinely a comment on the lives that we are leading. I feel it's a huge comment on the life that I am leading, being someone who's worked on the internet so extensively and gotten the kind of attention I've gotten. So which is what we are missing, and I think which the internet gives you that liberty that to go out and to experiment. It's almost like doing a play in an intercollegiate competition and doing a play professionally. I've done theater all my life, and as we used to mount big productions for commercial viewing, we would have to keep in mind what kind of audience will come and watch this play. Will they buy tickets? Will we get a sponsor for this? But when we were doing an intercollegiate play, there was no such pressure. It was a platform that was given to us and we could write and express ourselves. So the internet is that medium where you can go wild with your imagination. And when I say wild, it does not mean just showing people doing a lot of drugs and going naked. But wild with imagination means in terms of the stories that we are telling. And that advantage we must cash on. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you.
Hello Sumeet, I'm Rishabh, I'm from Amity University, Noida. My question to you is that एक टाइम पे जैसे बॉलीवुड ने डिस्कवर किया था कि आइटम नंबर डाल दो तो फिल्म चल जाती है, लोग आ जाते हैं देखने, वैसे ही आज के टाइम पे क्या गाली गलौज या अगर आप सेक्स की बातें कर दें या कुछ वल्गर बोल दें, क्या वो एक नई डिस्कवरी हो गई है इंटरनेट पे, यूट्यूब पे, और क्या उससे कंटेंट, अच्छा कंटेंट मिस आउट हो रहा है?
वो क्या है ना, एक ट्रेंड है. एक आइटम नंबर भी एक ट्रेंड था जो एक समय पे आया और उससे अचानक से अटेंशन ग्रैब कर रहा था बहुत सारे लोगों का, कि एक बहुत खूबसूरत लड़की है, बहुत खूबसूरत हीरोइन अचानक से बीच कहानी के आके डांस करना शुरू कर देगी, एंड इट्स एन अट्रैक्टिव विजुअल, सो एवरीबडी वाज वाचिंग इट. बट इट फेडेड आउट आफ्टर अ पॉइंट. पीपल वर लाइक, अच्छा ठीक है, अब देख लिया डांस, अब क्या करें, ये कहानी के बीच में क्यों आ गई हम तो किसी और मुद्दे पे बात कर रहे थे. तो ये उसी तरह है कि आप अचानक से गालियाँ बोल के अटेंशन ग्रैब कर सकते हो एक समय के लिए, पर अगर आपके पास बात नहीं है कुछ कहने की तो उसके बाद वो वर्क नहीं करेगा, चाहे आप कितनी भी गाली दे दो. मतलब अगर वो वर्क करता तो फिर मैं यूट्यूब पे एक वीडियो बनाता जिसमें मैं आई नो अ लॉट ऑफ गालीज फ्रॉम ऑल पार्ट्स ऑफ द कंट्री. मैं जहाँ अच्छी गाली तो आना चाहिए कि तुमसे क्वेश्चन, तो फिर उधर जाओ, साइड जाओ, जूम करके ले लेना मेरी शक्ल. ऐसा लगता है कि इवेंचुअली इट विल नॉट वर्क. जी.
Hello. Hi Sumit, this is Sayyam Mathur. I just wanted to ask that would you be preferring, like if you get an offer from the Bollywood side of the big screens, would you be able to choose like the big screens rather than the small screens?
I choose to work in a story. That's what I choose generally, and I choose to do the part that is being offered to me. After that, I look at कि ये picture है या web series है या क्या है, ये किस medium के लिए बन रहा है. But initially, what attracts me is the story and is the content that I'm going to be part of. Like when I did Permanent Roommates with them, उससे पहले तो वेब सीरीज कुछ था ही नहीं, ये कॉन्सेप्ट ही exist नहीं करता। ना मैं लोगों को उतना ज़्यादा जानता था, मैंने इनकी एक आधी वीडियो देखी, पर मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा जो काम वो लोग कर रहे थे। और ये सब मैंने नहीं सोचा कि ये कितना हिट होगा या कितने लोग देखेंगे या क्या करेंगे। मुझे लगा कि यार ये अच्छा है, ये मज़ेदार काम, ये करना चाहिए। सो आई थिंक इवेंचुअली इट कम डाउन टू दैट।
Hello, Sumit, Bhushan this side. Hi. Well, since I am having a fanboy moment, I don't have a question to ask, but a request to make. So, if you could say that dialogue कि तनु तुम कितना fast बोलते हो यार, तुम एकदम निकल ही जाते हो. Just one.
फास्ट बोल दिया तो तुम एकदम निकल ही जाती हो।
Thank you so much.
Journalism and mass communication from Parasli Vidyapeeth. Sir, my question is, acting has always been my first love. So I believe that acting is something which nobody can teach you how to act. So, but nowadays we see youngsters, they are adopting acting courses, this kind of thing. So what is your take?
पढ़ाई करके फिर आप डिसाइड करिए आपको वो सारी चीज़ें फॉलो करनी है।
Sir, do you think that training is must?
I think a bit of training is really helpful. You should train yourself as an actor. क्योंकि क्या होता है my observation is कि जब हम lawyer बनना चाहते हैं तो उसे 4 साल पढ़ाई करते हैं, डॉक्टर बनना चाहते हैं तो 9 साल पढ़ाई करते हैं, और जब एक्टर बनना चाहते हैं तो हम सिर्फ शीशे के सामने खड़े होकर 2 बार
Hello.
no other profession uses that opportunity. I will be a lawyer one day, engineer one day, a goofy scientist one day. I am a BA pass
Hi Sumit. Hi, this side. Hi, this is Shruti from Connect Jaipur. और आपने अभी बोला कि आप चाहते हो कि लोकल रीजनल वीडियोस आएँ जो जयपुर से जोधपुर से. So if we come up with a very good idea, do you mind doing it as a CSR activity?
Not at all. I would
Okay.
love to.
Okay, then give me your number after this and we'll contact you as soon as possible.
That is a mind-blowing idea.
All right.
You know, the interesting part about being an actor is that every part that you play, you borrow something from the life that you live. So, which is why every part that I've done does reflect a lot of what I'm going through, what I've lived. Sometimes it reflects a lot on what I'm going through at that point, and sometimes it reflects on the life that I've led in the past. Not just for me, I think for most actors, it does. So I hope I've answered your question.
All right.
Hello. May I ask a question, please?
All right. This would be the last question.
All right.
Thank
Belated
you.
happy birthday, sir, again from Banasli Vidyapit and everybody here. My question for you is that undoubtedly you have such great looks and people go gaga over your looks wherever you go. But whenever you go anywhere, people, there might be stances where people might be, instead of appreciating your great work, as we all know that you are the finest actor we have in the industry right now. So how do you deal with it? I mean, how do you take it ki "तो smart lag raha hai," but they don't appreciate you for the work you do. So that's my question for you.
Firstly, I don't think they were all smart. I was a really fat kid. Until I was 18, I was supposed to weigh 180 kgs. So in my head, I'm still a fat kid who's going to become thinner. But very late in life, I also realized that ultimately it's all about looks. It's so funny